Okay, welcome to the channel. So if you're looking for a good laugh, a heartwarming story, or maybe just something to brighten your day, look no further. Just kidding. We are here to share the stories of our prophets. And today, we'll delve into the fascinating life of none other than Prophet Moses, whom we know as Musa in Arabic. Now, before we dive into the details, let me remind you that I may not have all the answers. My knowledge is limited, so don't expect everything in this video to be super detailed or comprehensive, but here goes. Musa, meaning Moses, was a prophet of Allah who delivered the children of Israel from slavery in Egypt. His story is filled with bravery, miracles, and most importantly, unwavering faith in Allah. Let's start with his birth. During his time, the Pharaoh had ordered the killing of all baby boys born to the Israelites. So, when Prophet Musa was born, his mother knew she had to do something drastic to save him. According to her instructions from God, she placed him in a basket, hid him among some reeds by the riverbank, and let fate take its course. And what are the odds? The basket ended up floating to the palace where Pharaoh's daughter was taking a bath. She spotted the basket and out of curiosity, or maybe divine intervention, she opened it. Imagine her surprise when she found a cute baby boy inside. Instead of leaving him there, she decided to adopt him and raise him as her own. Subhanallah, talk about a stroke of luck. Now, because he was found in the river, she named him Musa. As Prophet Musa grew up in the Pharaoh's palace, he was surrounded by luxury and comfort. But despite the privilege, he never forgot his Jewish roots. In fact, as he got older, he learned about his true heritage and identity. It wasn't long before his natural leadership skills and intelligence became evident. One fateful day, he witnessed an Egyptian mistreating an Israelite. Seeing this injustice, Prophet Musa stepped in to defend the oppressed. However, things didn't go as planned. In a moment of anger and frustration, he struck the Egyptian, accidentally causing his death. When the news reached Pharaoh, he immediately suspected Musa. To protect himself, Musa fled from Egypt and ended up in Madyan. Now, settling down in Madyan, Prophet Musa started working as a shepherd, tending to the flocks of sheep and goats. It was during this period that he met the daughters of Shu'aib, the brother of Prophet Lot, and he helped them water their flocks. Now, one of these women caught his eye, and not just because of her beauty, but also because of her kindness and faith. Her name was Zipporah, and Prophet Musa fell in love with her. They eventually got married, and he spent many years in Madyan, raising his family and living a simple life away from the troubles of Egypt. During this time, Allah chose Prophet Musa once again and bestowed upon him the mission of delivering his people from Pharaoh's oppressive rule. Initially, Prophet Musa felt apprehensive, thinking to himself, "Who am I?" But Allah reassured him, saying, "I am with you." With this newfound strength and clarity, Prophet Musa returned to Egypt to confront the Pharaoh and free his people. After facing many obstacles and proving his prophethood, he asked Pharaoh to let the Israelites go so they could worship Allah. But you know what? Pharaoh was having none of it. He stubbornly refused and tried to keep the Israelites under his control. This led Prophet Musa to perform miracles to convince Pharaoh of the one true God, Allah. One of the most famous ones was when he stretched out his hand and it glowed with light, illuminating the darkness of the night. Another astonishing miracle happened when his staff transformed into a serpent, slithering and hissing before Pharaoh's astonished eyes. Despite witnessing these incredible acts, Pharaoh's heart remained hard. Now, after all this, Allah instructed Prophet Musa to deliver a message to Pharaoh, demanding that he release the Israelites from their forced labor and let them celebrate Passover in honor of Allah. However, Pharaoh continued to act with arrogance and refused to comply. He even threatened Prophet Musa, showing his true colors as an oppressive ruler. But Prophet Musa stood firm, continuing to call Pharaoh to the path of righteousness. So what happened next? Well, Allah sent many signs and plagues upon the Egyptians, each more dramatic than the last, to convince Pharaoh to let his people go. Let me tell you about the first one. Allah turned the Nile River, which was so vital to the Egyptians, into blood. Can you imagine the chaos and confusion this caused? It must have been devastating for them, but Pharaoh's heart remained unchanged. Then came swarms of frogs covering the land and even getting into people's beds. But still, Pharaoh wouldn't budge. Next, Allah sent lice that infested both the Egyptians and their livestock. Even though the magicians could make the lice vanish and reappear elsewhere, it was a clear sign of Allah's power. Pharaoh, however, remained unmoved. After that, Allah sent an even more terrifying plague, darkness that lasted for 5 days. Despite this, Pharaoh still refused to let the Israelites go. Finally, Allah sent his most severe punishment, death for every firstborn son in Egypt. Pharaoh finally agreed to let the Israelites leave, but only after seeing so much death and destruction. Alright, so now that Pharaoh had given his consent, Allah guided Prophet Musa and the Israelites through the Red Sea. It was a miraculous event that showed the greatness of Allah, but unfortunately, Pharaoh changed his mind halfway. Feeling remorseful about letting the Israelites go, he assembled his army and set off in hot pursuit. You might think he wanted to take the Israelites back, but really he wanted to capture them and make them slaves again. The chase continued until both parties reached the sea. Now, Prophet Musa, acting on Allah's instructions, raised his staff and struck the sea. What happened next was nothing short of miraculous. The waters parted, creating a path for the Israelites to escape across the sea. As they made their way through, Allah made sure that Pharaoh and his army couldn't follow. It was a powerful display of Allah's favor towards Prophet Musa and his people. But just as the Israelites were escaping, Pharaoh and his soldiers started to regret their decision. They realized they'd made a huge mistake and wished they hadn't followed the Israelites. Too late, though. The chasing army got trapped in the sea as it rushed forward. Pharaoh and his men were swallowed by the sea, drowning forever. That's right, Pharaoh was known for his cruelty, but his greed ultimately led to his downfall. After successfully crossing the sea, the Israelites found themselves in a strange land, far away from the familiar surroundings of Egypt. In this unfamiliar territory, they faced challenges and uncertainties, wondering where they would go next. However, Allah guided them and provided for their needs as they journeyed toward the Promised Land. At Mount Tur, also known as Mount Sinai, Allah spoke to Prophet Musa and gave him the Torah, also called the 5 Books of Moses. This event was a pivotal moment in history, as the Torah contained the laws and teachings that would guide the Israelites for generations to come. Now, the Torah held great religious significance, serving as a foundation for the future prophets and playing a crucial role in shaping the beliefs and practices of Judaism. Prophet Musa's mission was complete, and he is remembered as one of the greatest prophets in the history of Islam. Alright, that's a wrap on the story of Prophet Musa. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And hey, why not show some love and support by subscribing to the channel? Thanks for joining me on this journey through the life of Prophet Musa. His story reminds us that even when faced with the most powerful oppressors, standing up for what's right and having faith in a higher power can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Remember his courage and determination as you navigate your own challenges and never lose hope in the face of adversity. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.